What is an MPV and why do you need it? You've done a tremendous amount of work. You found an idea, researched the market, understood the customer, and even sketched out a coherent business model on the canvas. Your startup is already coming to life on paper and in your thoughts. But an idea, however brilliant, remains just an idea until it meets reality. This is where the MVP, minimum viable product, enters the scene. Forget about perfectionism. Forget about releasing a product that does absolutely everything you dream of. This is a trap many nascent entrepreneurs fall into. They spend months, even years, sitting in their garages, polishing every detail, adding new features, striving for perfection. And then, when the product finally launches, it turns out that the market has already changed, or that customers need something completely different, or, most sadly, that their brilliant solution is not needed by anyone at all. All those months and years were wasted. An MVP is your lifeline from this trap. It's not a raw or unfinished product. It's the simplest version of your product or service that has just enough functionality to deliver value to the target customer and gather feedback for future development. The build, measure, learn principle. The MVP is inextricably linked to this key principle. It's not just about doing something quickly. It's a continuous cycle that helps you move forward with minimal waste and maximum learning speed. Build, create the MVP. It should be just enough to test your main value hypothesis and nothing more. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Remember, your goal is not a perfect product, but to get data as quickly as possible. Measure. Launch the MVP and carefully collect data on how users interact with it. Not just how many downloads, but how many people actually used the key feature. Зрение. Сколько времени они провели в приложении? Logically, which features are they ignoring? The where do they stumble? Numbers are the language of the market. Learn. Analyze the collected data. Was your hypothesis confirmed? Does the MVP solve a real problem? What did users like? What disappointed them? What new ideas or problems arose? This stage is the most important. It allows you to understand where to go next, continue developing the product, pivot in a different direction, this is called a pivot, or even abandon the idea if it doesn't resonate. This cycle repeats over and over. Each time you improve your product based on real data, not guesswork. You don't guess what the customer needs. You know because they showed you with their behavior. The purpose of an MVP: get feedback with minimum cost. So why is this MVP so critically important, especially when you're starting your journey? Rapid hypothesis, confirmation. Remember that your idea is a set of hypotheses. People are willing to pay for X. My product will solve problem Y. They will use feature Z. An MVP allows you to test these hypotheses in days or weeks, not months or years. You learn the truth about the market before it's too late, and before you've invested all your savings in an unviable solution. Resource saving. Time and money are your most valuable resources in the early stage. Building a full-featured product requires huge investments. An MVP allows you to spend minimum time and money to understand whether it's worth going further. If the idea fails, you'll lose only a few weeks and a small budget, not years of work and millions of dollars. Risk reduction. The longer you develop a product without showing it to the market, the higher the risk of failure. An MVP minimizes this risk, allowing you to quickly adapt and change course if something goes wrong. Early adoption by first users, early adopters. An MVP gives you something to show. This attracts those early adopters we talked about. These people are willing to try new things and provide feedback. Their enthusiasm and willingness to share their opinions are invaluable. Attracting investment. Investors don't just want to see an idea. They want to see that you've already built something, that you have real users, real data, and that you've already tested your hypotheses in practice. An MVP, even a very simple one, is powerful proof of your potential and your ability to execute. It shows that you're not just dreaming, but can actually bring things to life. Why is this especially important in a dynamic environment? The market is incredibly dynamic. What's relevant today might not be relevant tomorrow. Competitors aren't sleeping, and new technologies emerge faster than you can master them. An MVP isn't just a tactic, it's a mindset of agility and customer centricity. You release something, listen to what customers say and what they do, and quickly adapt. This allows you to not only survive, but thrive, constantly offering the market what it truly needs. Imagine you want to launch a social network. Your MVP could simply be a messenger group where people share photos. You observe what photos they like, how they interact, what features they lack. You don't immediately build a platform with 1,000,000 features that no one might need. Or take Airbnb. Their first MVP was just a website where the founders listed photos of their air mattresses in their living room so students could find temporary accommodation. No complex booking system, no maps, just solving an urgent problem. An MVP is the first step into the real world. It allows you to learn quickly, cheaply, and effectively, turning your bold hypotheses into a real, in-demand product.